I want to talk through the hip hinge today because it's my favorite movement. You can do a lot with it. If you do it correctly, it's great for exercise, it's great for everyday life. But if you do it incorrectly, it's gonna hurt. So I want to talk through the hip hinge, what it is, all exercises, main exercises I should say, that cover the hip hinge, and how to make sure, even when we're starting to fatigue, that we're doing it right. So the first thing we think of with the hip hinge is the deadlift, and it's really good to perfect the deadlift, of course, because it is one of the bigger movers. It's one of the exercises that works the most muscle groups, and therefore it's one that you can fatigue in sooner. So when we're talking about a hip hinge in general, a hip hinge is literally your hips hinging. We're reducing the range of motion, or not range of motion, we're reducing the angle in your hips because of hinging back. So we're going from a 180-degree extension of the hips, fully open, hinge forward. Now we're only at about 90 to 120, depending on where you stop your range of motion. So a squat is going to hit 90-degree hip flexion and 90-degree knee flexion, whereas a hip hinge is going to hit, like I said, 90 to 120-degree hip flexion and just keep a slight bend, maybe 15 to 20-degree bend in those knees, okay? The hip hinge, think of, and we do this, I know we do it a lot in our exercise videos, so I know this is not new to you, but I want to educate you more so you can start leveling up, get stronger in it, more confident in it, and therefore lift heavier. So in that hip hinge, you want to think of a string pulling your tailbone to the wall behind you. So if I'm here, think of a string just attached, clipping to the back of my shorts right now. It's going to pull back, 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 back. My hips have nowhere else to go except back, and by association, the torso is all connected. The torso is then going to hinge forward, lean forward, drop forward, because your hips are hinging back, okay? So when you do a hip hinge, you want to make sure that we're keeping good posture because that torso is all connected, right? So the hips go back, pull, 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 pull. Your core is going to activate immediately upon being pulled backwards, okay? Core is activating, and we're going to hinge, hips back, keep a flat torso. Now the biggest thing here, biggest things, are we don't want to hinge and do a straight leg. Locking out the knees is catastrophic. You can really completely tear your knees up. And also, if you keep your knees straight, you're actually going to be at risk of passing out because it's basically restricting blood flow because you're just locking everything off. So when your hips pull back, soft bend in the knees, okay? Important number one. Importance number two is to maintain your posture and not just get lazy. So with the hip hinge, everything else still has to support it below and above it. So below, your knees are supporting it. Above it, your posture is supporting it. So you just want to stay nice and strong. When you do that, before you start a hip hinge, you can think of engaging your lat muscles. So your lat muscles, right there, are your pull-up muscles. So when we do those lat pull-downs, that's what you're feeling. Before you start, say we're going to get ready to deadlift. Before you start, you might hip hinge, and then you want to engage your lats, okay? So a lot of people will say roll the shoulders down and back. That's good until we open too far. There is a point where we would open too far and create an arc in our back. So you want to engage those lat muscles. So we're just pulling lats down and back, not quite your shoulders, more of your lat muscles down and back. Think of pinching a pencil in between the bottom part of your shoulder blades, okay? So our feet are hip width apart, all hinge movements, unless it is a designated sumo. Feet are hip width apart, hips go back, string is pulling, knees are relaxed, soft bend, and you want to, from here, engage your lats. So just notice how my shoulders do look like they roll back a little bit, okay? Ready, watch. Engage the lats. I didn't roll my shoulders, I engaged the lats. Now that we're ready with the hip hinge, okay, we're doing that normal deadlift. It can be a straight deadlift. It can be an RDL deadlift. It can be a straight, super big hamstring stretch deadlift. But it's not only deadlifts, right? A hip hinge also works in a swing, okay? Kettlebell swings, skier swings, American swings, all of the above. It also works in bent over rows, bent over tricep kickbacks, all bent over positions. So keeping that core engaged, right? Breathe in, contract, hips back, pull your lat down, and keep your neck in a neutral spine position. I don't want you looking up. Say I'm doing a good morning, for example. I don't want you looking up as you hinge, because now we're creating an over arc in our upper spine. That's going to hurt, and it can cause ripple effect down the rest of your spine. So tuck your chin, neutral spine from your head down to your tailbone. Now we're gonna go say good morning, for example, okay? Push those hips back, hamstrings are nice and tight. Just feel in control of your torso and your hips. Do some practice reps of just a hip hinge if at any time, but if you're wanting to go heavier on like a deadlift coming up in the future, do some practice hip hinges to make sure that it's feeling good. Use some of these to put it into practice, and then let me know. I would love to know if even just the process of addressing the hip hinge, just thinking about it more, if that helps you. Hip hinge, like I said, deadlift is one of the biggest ones we do with the hip hinge, and that is the exercise that works literally the most muscles in your body. So we can do a lot of bang for buck with our hip hinge movements, so go ahead and practice and let me know what you think and how strong you're getting.